In a world where we often feel lost or uncertain about the future, there's a divine truth that many overlook. Nothing happens by accident. Every moment, every encounter, and every path you cross has been written into the fabric of time by a higher hand. This truth becomes especially evident when it comes to relationships and the people we are meant to meet. If you're reading this now, it is no coincidence. You've been led here by a purpose greater than your own understanding, to hear a message that may transform the way you view love relationships and your place in the grand design of life. This message is not just about finding someone to love, but about recognizing a divine connection, a person chosen specifically for you by God. It's about understanding that the person who will walk alongside you is not a random stranger or a fleeting encounter. No, this person is someone who has been carefully aligned with your path, your purpose, and your destiny even before you took your first breath. God's plan for your life has always included them, and now the time has come for the veil to lift, for the mystery to be revealed, and for the divine partnership to manifest in your life. But this revelation isn't just about a name or a face. It's about a divine moment. You may have asked for a sign, you may have questioned the timing, or even wondered if love would ever truly find you. Yet the truth is, love has always been waiting for you. It's been there quietly, preparing both you and your future partner for the right time to come together. There's a specific moment that has been ordained, a meeting destined by divine will, one that will feel like a collision of two paths that were always meant to cross. In this sacred unveiling, God's timing is perfect. The name you are about to hear may shock you, as it carries with it a deep sense of recognition, a sacred understanding that something extraordinary is unfolding. But what makes this moment so powerful is not just the name you will hear, it's the realization that this person has been part of your journey from the very beginning. This is not just about romance, it's about divine partnership, restoration, and fulfilling a higher purpose together. So as you read these words and reflect on your own life, remember that you are not waiting for love to find you. Love has been preparing you. The love you have longed for, the connection you've prayed for, is closer than you think. And when it comes, it will bring with it a peace and clarity that confirms what your spirit has always known. This moment, this divine revelation, is not just the beginning of a new chapter, it's the unfolding of a story written in the heavens for you. Get ready, chosen one, because what God has prepared for you is about to be revealed. In life, we often find ourselves waiting for something, a breakthrough, a moment of clarity, a new beginning. We question why certain things take longer than we expected, why certain people come and go, or why love feels elusive. But what if everything we've experienced, every delay and every detour, has been a carefully orchestrated part of a much larger plan? What if the moments of waiting, frustration, and uncertainty have been necessary to prepare us for something with perverting, far greater than we can imagine? The reality is that God's timing is not just a passive part of our lives. It is an active force working behind the scenes, weaving together the fabric of our stories with divine precision. The truth that many of us forget is that life does not unfold randomly. Every event, every encounter, and every delay serves a purpose. And as difficult as it may be to accept in the moment sometimes, the very delays we experience are God's way of preparing us for something far beyond our immediate comprehension. When it comes to relationships, we often desire immediate answers, quick resolutions, and rapid connections. We may feel anxious about when we will meet the one we are destined to be with, and we may grow frustrated when it feels like love is taking longer to find us. But what if this waiting is part of the divine preparation process? What if, just as a diamond requires pressure and time to form your heart and spirit, need time to mature and align with the person God has chosen for you? Divine timing is not about rushing or forcing something to happen before it is ready. It's about understanding that God, in His infinite wisdom, has planned every detail of your life, including the person who will walk beside you. The one you are meant to be with is not a random selection or a fluke of fate. They have been designed for you and you for them long before you even knew they existed. This is not to say that life is scripted in a way that removes free will or the beauty of human choice. Rather, it means that there is a higher purposeful hand guiding the most significant connections in our lives. When we feel like we are waiting for something, it's important to remember that what we're really waiting for is divine alignment. Love in its truest and most pure form is not meant to be a fleeting experience. It is meant to be a divine partnership built on trust, mutual respect, and a shared calling. That's why it cannot be rushed. If we were to meet our perfect match too soon, we may not be spiritually, emotionally, or mentally ready to recognize them or to nurture the relationship to its fullest potential. Consider the process of refinement that God leads us through. It is easy to get lost in the frustration of delays, to question why certain things haven't happened on our timeline. But every moment of waiting is an opportunity for growth. Each setback is a chance to learn something about ourselves, to refine our character, and to develop the resilience needed for the journey ahead. The waiting is not wasted, it is preparation. And just like a gardener preparing the soil for a plant to grow, God is preparing your heart to receive the love He has been nurturing behind the scenes. It's important to understand that the person who is meant for you has also been undergoing their own journey of growth and preparation. While you've been walking your own path, the one who will stand beside you has been on their own journey, being shaped and molded by their own experiences. Just as your heart needs to be prepared to receive love, so does theirs. They too have been learning, healing, and growing, preparing to meet you when the time is right. You may not see it now, but the same divine hand that has been guiding your steps has been gently directing theirs as well. In this moment of divine timing, it's easy to feel lost, to feel like love is far off, or that we are simply waiting for a moment that may never come. But the truth is that God has been orchestrating your life and the life of your partner with such precision that the meeting you're waiting for is not a matter of if but when. Your paths are destined to cross, and when they do, it will feel like the natural alignment of two souls. It will not be forced or rushed. It will simply be the right time. One of the most profound aspects of divine timing is the realization that your life is not just about you. Your connection with this person is not only about your happiness, but also about fulfilling a greater purpose together. This is not a coincidence. You and your partner are not simply crossing paths because of fate, but because God has designed this union with intention. You may have thought that love was simply about finding someone to fill a void in your life, but in reality it's about recognizing that love is a gift given to help you both fulfill your individual callings and contribute to a greater business purpose together. This partnership is not a casual, fleeting relationship. It is a divine appointment. The purpose of this union is not just for emotional fulfillment or romantic love. It's about something far deeper. It's about bringing both of your lives into alignment with God's greater plan for the world, and together you will accomplish things that you could never have done alone. When you meet this person, it will be clear that there is a higher purpose in your connection, one that goes beyond the ordinary. It will feel like you are both meant to do something extraordinary together, something that will impact not just your lives, but the lives of those around you. The divine timing of your meeting is a reminder that you are never alone in this journey. God has been preparing both of you for this moment, and the purpose of your connection is far more significant than simply finding love. It is about fulfilling a divine assignment, healing together, and building something that will last for eternity. Trust that the waiting has not been in vain. The delay is not a rejection. It is the necessary time for both of you to become who you were meant to be, to heal the wounds of the past, and to open your hearts fully to receive the love that is already on its way. When the moment finally arrives, when the veil is lifted and you are face to face with the one God has chosen for you, it will be a moment of profound peace. You will feel an undeniable connection, a recognition in your spirit that this person is not just another lover or companion, they are the one who has been destined for you. This is divine alignment, and it is happening because the timing is finally right. Until then, know this: the waiting is not a sign of abandonment. It is a sign of preparation. Trust in the process, trust in God's timing, and know that the moment you've been waiting for is drawing near. Your path is aligning with theirs, and when the time is right, you will step into this divine partnership with clarity, peace, and purpose. As we journey through life, we often find ourselves seeking signs, looking for confirmation that the choices we are making, the relationships we are forming, and the paths we are walking are aligned with our greater purpose. We long for clarity, hoping for unmistakable signals that guide us forward. However, what many of us fail to realize is that the divine signs we are waiting for are often subtle, quiet whispers in our spirit, leading us towards something profound. These signs are not always loud, dramatic moments, but instead they often appear in the smallest of details, the fleeting thoughts, and the unexpected moments that resonate deeply with our souls. In the case of a divine partnership, God speaks to us in ways that are tailored specifically to our hearts. We may ask for a sign, but the answer may not come in the form we expect. It is in these moments that we must stay alert and tuned in to the gentle nudges of the Holy Spirit, for God is constantly communicating with us, preparing our hearts to recognize the sacred connections He has destined for us. There is something profound about the feeling we experience when we know something is about to change in our lives. It's a stirring in our spirit, a quiet sense of anticipation that something sacred is unfolding, even when we cannot yet see the full picture. This feeling, this holy unrest, is a sign from God that we are about to cross paths with something divinely orchestrated. It's as though the very air around us is charged with purpose, preparing us for the moment when everything will align perfectly. Perhaps you've experienced this yourself, an inexplicable sense that something important is about to happen, but you don't know exactly what it is. You may have felt it in your spirit for days, weeks, or even months, but it has yet to materialize. This is not a random feeling. It is the confirmation that God is preparing your heart for something significant. You're being spiritually prepped to recognize the sacred union that is about to unfold in your life. God has been working behind the scenes, making small but crucial shifts, setting things into motion, so that when the moment of divine alignment arrives, you will recognize it instantly. Spiritual readiness is key to recognizing these divine signs when they appear. God is constantly at work in our lives, but we often miss His subtle messages because we're too distracted by the noise of everyday life. To truly recognize the signs that God is sending, we must be spiritually alert and in tune with His voice. This means taking time to quiet our minds, to reflect in stillness, and to listen deeply for the whispers of the Holy Spirit. The more we align ourselves with God, the clearer the signs will become. Our discernment sharpens when we make space for Him in our lives, when we choose to remain in His presence and trust His timing. Sometimes these signs come in the form of small, seemingly insignificant details. A song lyric that resonates with you, a dream that seems to hold deeper meaning, or a repeated number or symbol that catches your attention. These are not mere coincidences. They are divine breadcrumbs, leading you to the recognition of your destined partner. God uses these signs to communicate His plan, to guide you, and to assure you that you are on the right path. The key is to remain open and attentive, not dismissing these moments as random, but seeing them for what they truly are, pieces of a larger puzzle that will eventually fall into place. One of the most significant aspects of the waiting period is the idea of protection. During times of silence and waiting, God may be shielding us from encountering the wrong people or entering into relationships that would hinder our growth. It is important to recognize that God's delays are not rejections, they are forms of protection. Just as a gardener protects a young plant from harsh winds until it is strong enough to survive on its own, God is protecting your heart from experiences that could damage your spirit or distract you from His plan. This divine protection doesn't mean that God is withholding love from you. Rather, He is making sure that when your divine partner arrives, you are spiritually ready to embrace the fullness of the relationship without fear, confusion, or the baggage of past wounds. The people you encounter before the appointed time may seem like potential partners, but the truth is they are simply part of your journey, helping you learn the lessons you need to prepare for the real connection that God has in store for you. There may also be moments where you feel as though love is just out of reach, that your heart is waiting for something that never seems to arrive. But know this, God's timing is never wrong. While it may feel like love is delayed, what you're truly waiting for is not the right person to simply appear, but for both you and your partner to be spiritually aligned and ready. The delays are allowing God to prepare both hearts to heal wounds and to cultivate the qualities that will make this union strong and lasting. Another crucial aspect of recognizing divine signs is the pattern that God weaves into our lives. Often, we overlook the small ways in which God is setting up the conditions for our divine partnership. These patterns may show up in our thoughts, dreams, or even conversations with others. They often appear in unexpected places: an overheard conversation, a chance encounter, or even a memory that suddenly resurfaces from the past. These patterns are divine markers, guiding us toward our divine partner. For instance, you might find that a certain name keeps coming up in your thoughts, dreams, or conversations. This name may seem random, but if you stay open to it, you may begin to see a pattern emerging. This could be a sign that God is trying to get your attention, preparing you to recognize the person tied to that name, as someone who will play a significant role in your life. It may be someone you've known before, or it may be someone who is about to enter your life in a new and unexpected way. Either way, the pattern is part of God's divine choreography, signaling that the time for your connection has come. Similarly, you may begin to notice repeating numbers, symbols, or even certain events that seem to occur with synchronicity. These are not just coincidences. They are divine confirmations that God is at work in your life. They are gentle reminders that you are on the right path, that the universe is aligning to bring your divine partner into your life at the perfect time. One of the clearest signs that you are ready to recognize your divine partner is the peace that will accompany it. When the right person enters your life, it will not come with confusion or uncertainty. Instead, it will bring a sense of peace, clarity, and alignment. God does not work through confusion or chaos. He works through peace and stillness. The relationship God has prepared for you will bring a calm assurance, a deep knowing that this person is the one you've been waiting for, even if you can't fully explain it. If you're experiencing anxiety, doubt, or fear in a potential relationship, it's important to take a step back and assess whether this connection is truly aligned with God's plan. True divine partnerships bring with them a sense of peace, not pressure or confusion. As you grow spiritually and emotionally, your discernment becomes sharper, and you'll begin to recognize the subtle yet undeniable signs that guide you toward the person God has chosen for you. In moments of spiritual readiness, God will reveal not just the person you are meant to be with, but also the purpose that this connection serves. This union is not just about emotional fulfillment. It's about aligning with God's greater plan and walking in the destiny He has prepared for both of you. So, as you wait, remain alert to the signs, trust the process, and know that God is leading you step by step toward a love that is divinely designed. As we walk through life, we often long for the moment when everything aligns perfectly, when we meet the person who is meant for us, the one who will walk beside us in purpose, love, and partnership. The anticipation can be overwhelming, especially when the journey to this divine connection feels like it is taking longer than we expected. We question whether the person we are destined to be with is just around the corner, or whether they are still far off. But what we often overlook is the divine truth that God's timing is always perfect, and the person He has chosen for us may already be part of our lives, even if we don't recognize them yet. One of the most profound aspects of a divine partnership is that it is never random. The person God has chosen for you is not someone you simply fall into, but rather someone who has been divinely appointed to cross your path at just the right time. God has been preparing both of you for this connection long before you ever met. This is not merely about romance, it's about divine purpose, alignment, and the fulfillment of God's plan for both of your lives. It's about walking in unity, supporting one another, and fulfilling the greater destiny that God has designed for both of you as a couple. When the time is right, the unveiling of this divine partner may be nothing like you expected. Perhaps you've been waiting for a grand, dramatic moment, a clear sign that you've finally found the one. But the truth is, divine connections often come in quiet, unexpected ways. You may look back and realize that the person you are meant to be with has been in your life for a while, though you never recognized them in the way you should have. They may have been a friend, a colleague, or someone you have known for years, But it is only now, when your heart and spirit are ready, that you are able to see them as the person God has prepared for you. In many cases, the divine partner you've been waiting for has been hidden in plain sight. Perhaps you have crossed paths before, but the time was not yet right for you to truly see each other for who you are. There may have been a moment of connection that you overlooked, dismissed, or misunderstood because you were not yet in the right place, spiritually, emotionally, or mentally, to recognize it. But in God's perfect timing, the veil is lifted, and you will finally be able to see what you missed before. This unveiling is not just about recognizing a person, it's about recognizing the divine purpose behind the relationship. The person God is bringing into your life is not just someone who will fill a void or offer temporary comfort. This person has been chosen to walk with you in a sacred partnership that goes beyond the surface level of romantic attraction. They will be a companion in your calling, a support for your growth, and a strength to help you fulfill the purpose that God has for both of you. One of the most powerful aspects of a divine partnership is that it is not just about emotional connection or physical attraction, it is about spiritual alignment. When you meet this person, you will not only recognize them in your heart, but also recognize the spiritual depth of the connection you share. It will not feel random or coincidental. It will feel like an unfolding of something much greater than yourself. There will be a knowing in your spirit that this person is not just someone to love, they are someone to build with, to grow with, and to serve with. The unveiling of your divine partner may be accompanied by a deep sense of peace, a clarity that washes over you and confirms that this is the right person for you. God does not work through confusion or chaos. He works through peace. When the right person enters your life, it will not feel rushed or forced. It will feel natural, like two pieces of a puzzle finally fitting together. You will sense an ease and a calmness in their presence, a certainty that this connection is meant to be. It's important to note that the unveiling of your divine partner may not happen in the way you expect. Many times, God hides the most important people from our view for a season, not because we are unworthy, but because He is protecting both us and them. God's timing is perfect, and He knows when we are truly ready to embrace the love and partnership He has prepared for us. Sometimes the person we are meant to be with may seem distant or unavailable, and we may question why things are not falling into place. But we must trust that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for our good. It's also worth mentioning that the unveiling of this divine partner may come with some surprises. The person God has chosen for you may not fit your preconceived notions or expectations. They may not look like the person you imagined, or they may not have the same qualities you thought you were looking for. But remember, God's ways are not our ways, and His vision for our lives is far greater than anything we can imagine. The person He has chosen for you will complement you in ways you never expected, filling gaps in your heart and life that you didn't even know existed. They will not just meet your emotional needs, but will help you grow into the person God always intended you to be. When the time comes for the unveiling of your divine partner, it will be clear that this connection is not just about love, it is about purpose. God brings people together not only for emotional fulfillment, but also for a greater mission. Together you will have a divine assignment, one that requires both of you to step into your full potential and fulfill God's purpose for your lives. This partnership will empower both of you to walk in your individual callings while also strengthening each other as you pursue your shared purpose. In the beginning, It may be difficult to understand how this person fits into your larger destiny, but as the relationship deepens, you will see how perfectly aligned it is with God's plan. The connection you share will not only bring joy and love into your life, it will also bring clarity to your purpose. The support, encouragement, and strength you gain from this partnership will propel you forward, enabling you to accomplish things you could never have done alone. God's design for your life includes this divine partnership, and it is essential to recognize that it is not just a relationship. It is a divine collaboration, a shared mission that goes beyond the confines of individual desires. This partnership will push you both to grow, to serve, and to become the best versions of yourselves, not just for each other, but for the kingdom of God. Together you will become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of fulfilling the purpose God has placed on your lives. As you await the unveiling of your divine partner, it is crucial to trust in God's timing. The person you are meant to be with is not lost or far off. They are simply being prepared for you just as you are being prepared for them. God is moving in the background, aligning both of your paths, and when the time is right, He will reveal them to you. Trust that every delay, every detour, and every moment of waiting is part of the divine process designed to lead you to this moment of recognition. The unveiling of your divine partner is not just about discovering who they are, it's about discovering the deeper purpose behind your connection. It's about walking in faith, trusting that God has already written this part of your story, and embracing the beauty and significance of the divine partnership that is about to unfold. When you finally meet the one God has chosen for you, it will not just be a meeting of hearts. It will be the beginning of a partnership that will change your life and the lives of those around you. In this divine moment, you will recognize that this person was never far from you. They were always a part of your story, and God has been guiding both of you to this point. This is the divine connection that will help you fulfill your purpose and walk in the destiny that God has already prepared for you. The time has come for the veil to be lifted and for you to step into a new chapter of your life with the one who has been destined for you from the very beginning. As the journey to divine partnership continues, it becomes increasingly clear that the unveiling of your chosen partner isn't just a matter of timing, it's about spiritual readiness. It's about preparing your heart, mind, and soul to recognize and embrace the divine connection that has been intricately woven into your life. While we often focus on the moment of meeting someone special, we must remember that God does not simply bring people into our lives at random. Every person we encounter, especially the one who will walk with us in divine partnership, is brought into our lives at a time when we are spiritually prepared to receive them. God's design for our lives is one of transformation. He works in us long before He works through us. And it is through this process of spiritual alignment and preparation that we are made ready for the love and connection we are destined to receive. It is essential to understand that divine love is not just about the heart, it is about the whole person. Your spiritual alignment is a key component of recognizing, embracing, and maintaining the divine partnership God has planned for you.